Game remasters are just kind of bullshit, right? Well, if you think about it, what does remasters actually bring to the table? A sense of nostalgia? Why? What's the point? I'm going to tell you a story, something that happened to me a long time ago, kind of a just, memory fragment or experience of mine. And it's going to help you understand why I dislike remasters this much. All right, so it is like, I don't know, 2015 or something. I don't know. I was in high school, just barely in high school, about 14 years old. And we didn't have that much growing up, right? Like me and my sister. But we did have food on the table. Like we weren't like super poor, but we weren't thriving, if that makes any sense. So there was no way that I was going to have a gaming PC or something similar to that at that point in my life. But that was also when Skyrim just released. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I wanted to play the game really, really bad. But of course, I didn't have any way to play said game. I didn't even really have internet access at that point in time. I went to my one friend's house just to be able to use the internet most of the time, unless I just bought like data or something from like pocket money that I earned while working for my dad. And my sister, on the other hand, she had a gaming PC. Not a very good one, but she had a PC that could do something. My sister and her boyfriend at that time kind of built the PC together, piece by piece. It took a long time, but she did manage to get it at some point. I think she had like 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. I think it was like a dual core to duo CPU, like a 2.93 gigahertz core to duo CPU at that point, which was not very strong. It wasn't like a powerful PC, but that was at the point where quad cores and stuff was like really getting popular. And I think the like early days of the Core i3s and Core i5s and 7s and stuff like that released, but we had no way of actually being in that ecosystem, right? Any case, she had that, and I think the graphics card was like an old AGP style graphics card. I don't know how many of you guys will actually know what this even is, but you have 2 different types of graphics cards. You have the normal PCIe cards that you get right now, like every card is now a PCIe card, right? But before that, you had a different port. It was called the AGP port. That thing wasn't very powerful. Like the port itself wasn't very powerful. And the graphics card that she had was a 1 gigabyte version, which was actually kind of rare for that port, but it worked. Not very well, but it worked. And she had Skyrim on her PC. I think it was like a cracked version or something. I don't even know, maybe. But she didn't allow me to actually play on her PC. And every time I came back from school, she was still working because she was done with school at that point. And I was like, you know what? I really want to play this game because I was a massive Elder Scrolls fan. I played Oblivion at some point before that at my one friend's house. And I was like, I really want to play this game. There has to be a way. there has to be a way for me to play this game on her computer. Her computer had a password on, so there was no way for me to actually get into the PC. Or so she thought. Thing is, I knew at that point, I think it was Windows 7, right? I knew at that point how to get into Windows 7 without really needing the password. And I booted the PC into safe mode. Changed the password because for some reason it worked at that point. And I played the game for like 6 hours. And she came home and she couldn't get into her PC. It's like, why doesn't my password work anymore? What's happening? And I was like, beats me. I don't know. I don't know. This continued for a while. And she did catch me, quite a few times actually. She did catch me, but at some point she gave up and she was like, you know what, just play the game. You know what, do what you want to do. You're going to get into my PC anyway. You can just play the game. And I did play the game a lot. And I replayed Oblivion a lot. And the point that I'm trying to make is those were games that I really, really loved. And when I saw there was a remaster of Oblivion, I actually somewhat got excited. The kind of nostalgia grew inside of me, and that childlike excitement, it kind of came out. I was like, I was calling my friend. I was like, you know what? Oblivion Remaster is releasing. What is happening? What? We have to try this. And so I did. I downloaded the game as soon as I could, and I got bored within 1 minute. It's boring. And you know why? Because I've played it before. I have essentially finished the game before. Why would I want to play the same game again? Just it looks a little bit more modern. That doesn't make any sense. Why would that even be needed? And that's the point that I want to make when it comes to remasters. One of my other favorite games of all time is getting a remaster, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And you know what? The resynced version or the remastered version, it has gotten a lot of hype. And you know, deservedly so. It was an amazing game. It still is an amazing game. But I don't know if the game should be getting a remaster. I don't know if it's worth it, because for everybody that's going to play the game again, right? If they finished the game before that, why would they want to finish the game again just with a little bit better graphics or a little bit better mechanics? Unless they do something completely new, what is the point? You get what I'm trying to say? I just don't physically see the point of a remaster. To bring back nostalgia, I don't know. I feel like remasters overall is part of like a corporate greed situation, because that's the only reason you would want to remaster a game is for corporate greed, to just get a bunch of money, essentially for free. And even if you have to like rebuild the game entirely, it's still something that was originally already there. It's like taking an AI picture and saying you made this, but you didn't make this. It was already there. You just, I don't know, color graded it a little bit differently on Photoshop. And I don't have a problem necessarily with that. I use AI for a lot of my stuff, you know, but for games, I mean, there are millions, and I mean millions of games out there, and a lot of good ones. So to just remaster the same things over and over and over again, I feel the same way about movies as well, by the way. Just it doesn't make sense to remaster or redo a bunch of movies over and over again, years on years on years, and it's just corporate greed at the end of the day, right? It's just a little pocket money, quick work, you know. It doesn't. I don't like it. It's stupid. It's bullshit. At the end of the day, I feel like if you want to really create a good game, you can. Just look at Crimson Desert, for example. This is a completely new game, and it's amazing. It is one of the best, if not the best game that I have ever played in my life. And it's new. It's not a copy. It's not a remaster. It is just something new and creative. Why do all these big corporations not want to focus on just creating an actual creative masterpiece? And you see so many copies just releasing over and over and over again. You're going to see Fallout games getting remastered, a lot of them. You're going to see a lot of the Assassin's Creed games getting remastered, a lot of them. Like, it just... I hope I'm getting my point across, because I physically don't like remasters. It feels like it's a money grab, a cash grab. And that's my stance on it. I don't know. What do you guys think about the remasters and resyncs in Assassin's Creed's case and stuff like that? Do you enjoy games like that? I don't enjoy games like that. I want to. It just doesn't happen. I enjoy new, unique, and interesting things a little bit more. Or do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Or do you disagree with me? I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. I would like to know what you guys think. Okay, let's be real. I'm probably going to try Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced anyway.